Ramsey and Chris Mitchell. So away we go. The bottom two. High bounce. Monkhorst back in the team today, only as far as Prescott. This is Kickett, across half-back, boots it out towards the wing. Pitches on the logo. Burns, great balance. Slippery ball, sliding in with Ship. Slapped out of there. Down towards half-forward by McManus. This is Sinclair back to McManus. So good last week. Grabbed in a strong tackle by King. Got him down. Ball up on the outer side. McManus close to 30 possessions last week. And joining the game late in the opening term.
Yeah, and a very good return to football, hasn't it been, after those severe knee injuries? An important player in these conditions.
Tossed up by the umpire. Michael with the leap down to Fletcher. Grabbed by Orchard. Spills across to Prescott. Appeared to throw it out. Sock it back in. Whistle. We'll see a lot of this afternoon. Couchy, what about the bench for the Magpies?
Andrew Shawble, Tarkin Lockyer, Tyson Lane and Craig Jackatine. Dennis?
Tarkin Lockyer, the fair hair, closest to the camera, waiting for his first run in AFL football. Up to half forward was Buckley here for Collingwood. Goes back with a hand pass. They've driven it deep inside the 50. O'Reilly leads the chase. Davis with him. The ball spins and stays in. The whole of the ball's got to go over the line. And Patterson now kicks it over the line. Unfortunate for him, out on the full.
And we look at the Collingwood forward lineup, and we see that Anthony Rocker has gone to full forward, and Buckley very quickly from the centre bounce into the forward line. Tony Shaw knows he needs to kick a lot of goals here this afternoon.
Parker with the hand pass, still only to half back. Prescott, kicked by Prescott as the rain gets heavier. Out towards the southern stand wing, close to the boundary line and out of bounds. Well, it looks as though nobody's here. That's not quite right. They're all huddled up under the stands here. It's a shocking day. Couchy, what about Freo's bench?
Freo bench, Jason Norrish, Tony Delaney, Chris Bond and Mark Allen. It's a beautiful day down here, Drew.
Enjoy.
Stop complaining. There goes King down towards the pocket. Buckley's in front. Reaching over the top was Clement. He's been penalised. So Buckley will get the free kick. Doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, well, definitely pulling of the jumper and then the reach over the shoulder there from James Clement. Buckley, it's a long way out. He needs to be able to set something up here to get it within 30 metres.
Kicks inside the 50. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Tarrant the flyer. Wirra over it. Dragged off it. Didn't have it. Certainly wasn't in control. He'll get the free kick. Playing with a broken nose. Brad Wirra sends play outside the 50. Bandy on his chest, plays on by hand. Toya back to Bandy. Bandy looping hand pass. This will be interesting. Not the place to put it on the deck. Kick it. And all sorts of trouble. Now a chance for Collingwood coming up to meet the ball. Parker knocked it away from Oborne. Good Shepherd got Oborne down. Parker under the pump, kicks it around the outer side. It pitches towards half forward. Monkhorst had the ball surrounded. Close to the boundary line. Came in, pressed to Giacomo, back to Godden. Godden across the ground towards the centre square. Lovely kick. And Scotland has got it.
Heath Scotland playing in his sixth game today. Up to King, who marks just forward of the centre circle.
Gee, he's been very impressive over the last few weeks, Clinton King. He's been in getting a lot of football.
He goes out wide, looking for Burns. The gap closed on Burns. He claims the mark. Bounces the umpire. Burns wrestles the ball away. Flips it back. In a hurry, Davis. A kick short of the goal square. Slippery ball dropped by Bandy. On all fours. Number 32, Paul Acuria, and the umpire will ball it up. Dennis, you reminded me of one you said, Bandy on his chest.
Yes.
I remember I was calling Gary Ayres one day. I said, Ayres on his chest. And Nathan Buckley kicks the first goal of the game. Welcome back, Bucks. 5 weeks out of footy and gets the Pies underway.
And it's always a dangerous situation. That ball up some 20 metres out from goal directly in front. And here it is here. It's not goalward, and Buckley just on the surge. And he'd lined up so he was facing the goal, so that when he ran onto the ball, he was heading that way. Very hard, very aggressive. Back to the centre bounce, and we'll do it again.
Damien Drum moving the windscreen wipers. And the Dockers haven't been past half forward so far. Back in the middle, Monkhorst Fronted by Michael, spills wide, Burns falling to the ground, Ship got it to press, got to hand passes it forward, taken by Michael, feeds it back and sitting about 15 metres, but again you can't afford to put it on the ground. Kick it under the pump as a result, smothered off the boot, wanders out towards the wing and Toya, that's better. Kickett has it now, kicks inside the 50, first time forward, all Collingwood, Scotland dropped it down there, loose ball. Freeborn trying to go through. Modra tackled him. Godden at close quarters. Pressed to Giacomo. Put down. Got the kick off though. Moncourse nicely done to Williams. Williams a looping hand pass. Accommodates King. King down towards half forward. Falling towards the ball was Tarrant. The ball struck him. Kickett got a hand pass to Parker. Across it comes to Holland. The Tasmanian kicks inside the 50 and Modra has taken the mark on his chest about 40 metres out directly in front.
And given the conditions, that's a very good mark. Not only do you have to deal with the slippery ball, but the pressure from Michael was right there, not too far away, and that's very well taken. Jumping to meet the ball, wrapping the arms right around it. There was no way that the Collingwood defence were ever going to get a fist in there to spoil that one.
Tony Modra, he's booted 58 goals on this ground, with the best of 10 against Richmond, round 1 back in 1993. This will be a nice return, one time forward for a goal. Modra kicks, looks pretty good, lovely effort.
Well, without doubt, the two most influential players potentially on the ground in Nathan Buckley and Tony Modra getting the first goals for their respective sides, and both getting them in the manner that you'd expect from them. Buckley bursting through a contest, running onto a loose ball, but here Modra leading out and into the right spot too, right out in front of goal, kicking from the perfect spot for a full forward, some 40 metres out, directly in front, making no mistake.
Tony Shaw watches on, Neil Balm at his shoulder. Tense day for everybody involved in Collingwood. A goal each to start the game. One to Buckley, one to Modra. Moncourse wins in the middle, comes down to King. His hand pass out wide, it goes to Burns. He clears the centre square. Off the ground goes Kickett. Beautiful kick, but straight to Moncourse. Gee, that took off like a golf ball. Scotland. Kick by Scotland. A lot of height, not great distance, still short of the 50. Buckley makes a contest. He's in the middle for Nathan Buckley. And the ball out of play at half forward for Collingwood for a throw-in.
So Tony Shaw has bitten the bullet. Buckley's doing the centre bounce work and then going down to half forward. He's been rewarded with the first goal, but in these weather conditions, yes, you need someone who's going to kick 3 or 4, and Buckley could be that player here for Collingwood.
Ball close to the line, Tarrant. Eventually over it goes off Freeborn.
Too high, I think, Drew.
Free kick to Glenn Freeborn. 2 kicks to goal from there. Still pretty close to the boundary line. No mark taken. Comes down to the front of the pack. Patterson's hand pass back. A high kick short of the goal square. They dash after it. Bit of trouble here for Fremantle. Williams got a bit of a touch to it, but Clement, a beautiful hand pass, clearing defence. Ship up towards centre wing. Awkward half volley. Scotland's there. Had it a while. The umpire says, "Ooh, give it to me, I'll ball it up." He might have been a fraction lucky.
I reckon. I think the tackle from Garth Taylor was probably too good, that he wrapped up Scotland a little bit too quickly.
Moncourse knocks it down directly to Prescott though. In front Scotland, played it well to his own advantage. Away to Godden. Collingwood looking pretty impressive to start this. Godden goes towards the outer side. Oborn worked out of it. Sinclair left it behind. Oborn, sock is away. Lecuria appear to be taken high and he'll get the free kick. This is Lecuria. Not much doubting that. Has it on the wing. Former Sydney Swan told to play on now. You can see those arms flapping in the foreground. That was an umpire.
You're just trying to keep warm.
Down towards the 50. Might have been couching. We're hand passes towards the boundary line. Sinclair unloads, gave it his best and gained about 5 metres.
Gee, it was a dangerous play though, wasn't it, to be able to just throw the boot at the ball like that, so close to the line. The possibility of it going out of bounds on the full was quite high. I think I would have preferred him just to be able to put the hands down and, if so, just nestle it over the line.
I don't think it's a word he's too familiar with, caution. Just Sinclair.
No, not in the vocabulary.
Ball up on the outer side after McManus didn't seem to have it. 6 points apiece. Adrian Fletcher at the base of the pack. The umpire indicating again, I'll toss it up. Bandy beaten to it. off the ground by Orchard, comes across to King. King hard against the line, pulls it back. Buckley up in front. Clement did well. Buckley's over the ball. Somehow got it out of there. Clement asked the question. Now Patterson's got a question of his own, and it's going to be a free kick for deliberate, I fancy, to go to Patterson, or was it for a too high tackle? Watch it again.
Well, Patterson's appeal is for a too high tackle here in the contact, but there's Buckley. He's pretty well caught with that one, no doubt at all.
It was out of bounds off Patterson, so it can't have been for deliberate.
I think it was all just a little bit of a mess up all round, that one.
Anyway, Patterson's got the ball to Tarrant. This is important because Tarrant could score from here. He'll kick from about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Young 18-year-old. This for the lead. Any score puts the Magpies in front. Tarrant deliberately. It's close, but I think he's missed. He has.
And you just mentioned then, Dennis, the youth in the side. Chris Tarrant, one of them. We said in the opener there's 15 players who are 22 years of age or under, and 5 in their first year. So Tony Shaw really has taken on a developmental role at this particular stage. A win here would be very important. The start's been good so far for Collingwood.
Parker's kick just outside the 50, and Fletcher takes the mark. Comes wide towards the members' stand wing. McManus gives chase. Now he'll do the shepherding and allows Kickett in. Beautiful disposal. And Sinclair marks on centre wing. They've run forward well. Luke Toyer takes the mark. McManus has gone past, but Toyer prefers to keep it inside the corridor. Modra down towards the pocket. Clever. He wanted a spin. Didn't quite get enough. Actually, didn't do badly. Behind to Tony Modra.
Well, there's not many players who can do that, but he's the one who can turn something out of that type of a play there.
He's like a contortionist, isn't he? He looks almost uncoordinated, and yet manages to make something of it.
I think he's dispelling any concern about that wonky knee this week. The way he's throwing it around there, he's feeling very comfortable and confident.
Peter Hudson made a career of looking uncoordinated and couldn't he kick a goal?
But he's idle. On the outer side, the sun is trying to break through, believe it or not, as Fletcher gets it across to Harding. Harding through the centre square, probing kick down towards full forward. Moncourse goes back. Modra got hands to it. It runs near the boundary line and goes across. So Modra looking dangerous, 7 points apiece on a very bleak day here in Melbourne.
I'd like to see Modra have a go at this boundary throwing. I think the goals are going to be hard to get because of the conditions, and it's just going to need a little bit of magic from individual players to get them.
Michael directs it down in front. Here's Clive, hard against the line. Waterhouse comes back towards McManus, who tried to soccer off the ground. Nothing much happening there. Prestigiacomo scrambles it forward to Davis. A full revolution. Hand passes wide towards the boundary. This is Godden breaking away from half back, kicking it up towards the wing. This could run on to Buckley. He judged it brilliantly. Oh, superb. Gives it across to Orchard. 60 metres out. Open square. This will skid on. It runs on. It's wide of the mark and goes across out of bounds at the opposite end alongside a behind post. And Buckley, from the moment that ball was in flight, knew where it was going to run to, and Clement backed himself against the ball and wishes he hadn't.
Yep, skimming type of day today. Well read by Buckley. Throw in forward pocket for the Pies. Interference in ruck. It's against Rocker. It's to Rocker, or it's to Collingwood. Against Bandy, he was dashing back to take a free kick. It's gone the other way.
Oh, it's confused everybody. And Nathan Buckley had burst away with the ball, and if advantage had been called, he would have kicked the goal from just 10 metres out. There's a lot of pushing and shoving in there. I don't know.
It's off the ball. It's off the ball. It's Lucuria who's trying to get across in front of the pack, is being held.
Interesting free kick this one. Virtually right in front of goal. So a free kick to Lucuria to break this deadlock. 1 goal, 1 apiece, and Lucuria kicking from only 20 metres. Controversial free kick, and he's dobbed the goal.
Well, my stats had Paul Lucuria coming into the game with only 2 free kicks, 4 for the season and 7 against. All of a sudden he turns here and picks up one. There's the hold there from Gareth Taylor off the ball. And if we had kept going there, Buckley's the player that gets away with it, and the umpire misses an opportunity to call a play on call or an advantage call, but it comes back to Lucuria. Makes no doubt about the shot at goal.
Well, what do we say there, Terry? If they play it all day and play it close to goal, well, that's fair enough.
And it's going to be tough because there's going to be a lot of that because of the conditions. Players are going to be in close and hard.
Not much to that holding free kick to Licuria as Buckley digs it out of the middle. There's some holding. Licuria didn't get the free kick that time. Harding was held. It spills across to Clement, who goes off a step and boots it down towards half forward. Clever mark by Clive. Wants to go. Mistake. In trouble. Godden's got him. Jarred out of there. Ship upended by Williams. In goes Orchard on his knees. Holland arrives. And the ball up.
I tell you what, Dennis, I reckon left footers are always pretty fair game for a man who's prepared to work the mark, because they'll always want to step off onto that left foot. Clive Waterhouse just did it too quickly. The Collingwood player on the mark snaffled him.
Great ruck win from Michael. Now to Fletcher. Comes wide to Toyer. He fights hard for it. And Michael held when he didn't have the ball. It'll be a free kick. It's Chris Tarrant. Left half-back flank for Collingwood. Over centre wing. Buckley climbs. Can't mark. Interfered. And the man he jumped into isn't feeling too well, Parker.
Drew, just on Adrian Fletcher's kick there. He's done it twice today. You're better off to get it long, hard and high down to Modra. Just a one-on-one situation there instead of kicking it across sideways. It's going to make it very difficult for players to pick the ball up again. Don't overuse the ball. Get it on quickly.
There's no doubt about that today, Couchy. I think you've got to be able to minimise it here. They've got a chance here, a little bit of space, and away they go.
Needed the rib for Parker. He's not well at all. Half forward, Waterhouse can't take the mark. Hand pass comes wide to Bandy. Bandy shot for goal. It's just offline.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the kicking then. Long kick, put the defenders under pressure, and opportunities come that way because it's slippery. It can bounce out your way and you can have a shot for goal.
I think that's one of the transition stages that the Dockers are in too, Couchy, moving away from Jared Neesham's style of play to what perhaps Damien Drummond wants, which is a little straighter and a little bit longer. Under the pressure of the contest, sometimes you revert back, but the demand for today is kick long.
Williams doing exactly that, driving it to the outer side. Prestigiacomo takes the mark on his chest. That's a bonus. He's right half back. The side leading by 5 points. The breeze is blowing down towards the left-hand end, but that's the punt road end. It's a push in the back to Buckley. Nothing doing. Clement's got the free. More particularly the mark as he centres the ball across. Taken by Bandy alongside the centre circle. High kick down towards half forward. Off hands. Down goes Waterhouse. Trying to crash his way through was Fletcher. Over the ball is Orchard. Tunnels it out between his legs. Scotland dragged down. Orchard is there. Godden did well, plays it to Davis. Davis comes away from half back and kicks it through the wing towards half forward. Play in front. Patterson gets the free kick. Couchy, what about that breeze? Looking at the flags, it looks quite strong, but does it have much effect down there in the middle? Not
really. It's very swirly, Dennis. It's probably a bit more swirly than other days because of the wind conditions, but it's much the same. Probably Collingwood are kicking to a 1-goal, 2-goal breeze with it to the left.
Kick inside the 50 is fisted away out of bounds. Rocker offering the lead. We've got a boundary throw in.
So Couchy not strong enough to blow your beanie off?
Oh, I need that. That's an essential today, Drew. Sorry, it's about 8 degrees. So.
Oh, you look sensational. On the 50, Collingwood. Hooked back by McManus over his shoulder. Clever kick. Kicker takes the mark. Sorry, it's Taylor at half-back. Up short of centre wing. McManus doubled on. McManus to the centre of the ground. Bandy near the cricket pitch area. Collingwood 2-1. Fremantle 1-goal 2. Kicked by Bandy. And the hand pass comes out wide to Sinclair. Sinclair's shot is close. Shaves the post.
Goal side of it too.
Yeah, just missed a goal by a centimetre.
The Dockers have come right back, obviously looking at the scoreline, but in terms of general play, early in the call, Dennis indicated that Collingwood had gone into inside their 50 some 4 or 5 times, and the Dockers hadn't ventured that far yet. They've just about evened it out over the last 5 or 6 minutes. They've really started to structure up through the midfield.
Williams to himself, breaks away, drives it again towards the outer side. Prestigiacomo, was that a push? It appeared to be. No free. Prestigiacomo picks up the ball, scrambles it forward up towards the wing. Harding's hand pass not that good. Bandy though across to kick it with some time, driving it towards half forward. McManus goes up, takes the mark, hits the ground running, playing very well. Oh, Prestigiacomo, great attempt. It's been played as a mark, and then it's way. That's a contender for the Cadbury's mark of the year.
Oh, he's got the chocolates for this one. Same direction as the ball. He couldn't have been watching the ball.
Well, the day calls for desperation, doesn't it? He goes.
Well, 9 out of 10 for effort. Don't think he took the mark.
Twice he didn't take the mark. Give him the boiled lollies. On the outer side, it's a free kick to the Dockers.
Yes, the mark competition is now sponsored by boiled lollies. Clement at centre wing. 4-point lead to Collingwood. Yes, the ball bounced off an opponent and then touched the ground. Kick deep
That's
inside.
if you want to be picky.
Missed on 2 counts, as you point out. Clinton King lively, taken over the boundary line. Bit of a dance step there, and the umpire will throw it in. Free kick 7-3 so far in favour of Collingwood. I can hear the shouting already from Western Australia. Give us a break, umpire. Tight in there. King doing the hard work. Gets it going forward. Godden. Now the umpire will ball this up. They'll be working pretty hard today, Chris Mitchell, Mark McKenzie and Mark Nash.
We've got umpire Chris Mitchell speaking to the runner out there right in the centre of the ground, sending him off.
Damien Condon, the Fremantle runner.
Out there too long for the umpire's liking.
Looking very fit. Ball just outside the 50. A real scramble.
And just mentioning the umpires, Dennis, this is when they really have to be on their form. We indicated Chris Mitchell called a close and dubious holding free kick earlier on. They need to be consistent so players can be able to judge it in difficult conditions.
Sinclair batting it around the boundary line, socket away by Mal Michael. Prescott, he started pretty well, comes back towards the middle. Interesting contest. Kinnear knocked it away from Bandy. Bandy picks it up, dragged off it. Oborn to Kinnear. Kinnear gets the hand pass away. Straight to Fletcher. Fletcher in a lot of trouble. Over the ball at the base of all of that is Orchard, and I think he's been penalised.
Oh, surely not him. Surely not Orchard's play was being penalised. I hope not.
There's the short one from Toyer to Prescott. Prescott across the ground. McManus, so important to the Dockers, spots a man loose, comes to Clement. Now Clement could just about kick this, runs to 50. Can't bend it back enough. Good chase there from Lucuria, just affecting the kick. Norrish waiting to come on. Conregan sends him on. Michael comes off.
Famous names in West Australian football there. Regan and Michael. Dennis?
Yes. Yeah. Saw Con kick 9 goals once. He could play at both ends of the ground. 9 goals in a final at Subi. First semi-final for East Fremantle.
Yeah.
Oh, early.
You're not admitting.
A long time ago.
Kick towards the boundary. That's 4 runs here at the MCG.
You saw Con. It wasn't 2 years ago.
Actually, I don't know that I don't reckon Con overlapped with me when my time in Perth.
Great player.
Monkhorst back after a stretch in the reserves, palms the ball down. Wayward kick to the middle of the ground, and the mark taken by Kickett. Just forward to the centre circle. Chance for the Dockers here. Waterhouse front position. Couldn't quite mark. Modra loses control of it. Godden's hand pass a bit slick for Patterson. Oh, Waterhouse, second effort. Good. Back he goes. Prescott. Oh, Taylor just underneath the ball. Grabbed by Michael. Slips the tackle. The hand pass in is good, and Collingwood out of trouble. Burns wide to the wing. Buckley front position. And the ball skims as Bucks knows it will. And out of bounds it goes.
Well, what a welcome return for Nathan Buckley. The Pies supporters here, they're very pleased to see him. And why wouldn't they? Last time these two played out at Victoria Park, he finished the day with 36 touches and 13 centre bounce clearances. Most important player.
Away come Fremantle down towards their half-forward line. On the bounce, it's taken by Waterhouse to Norrish, who was involved just moments ago. He runs to the 50, pulls it back. The kick does favour Modra, and that's a very good mark. What a good mark in the circumstances.
There's two things in it, isn't it? That with Modra being there, they now have got a focal point at full forward, and the players are prepared to work to that position. Whereas when you don't have a recognised full forward, you tend to work towards the goals, and accuracy can evade you there. But utilising the full forward and a quality one like Tony Modra, the team now is starting to show some coherence and some linking between the midfield and this particular man. A great kick across from Norwich puts him right in the perfect spot, directly in front.
Resumed in round 16 last season with Adelaide, discarded for the finals, but really on course in terms of coming back from a knee. Should be getting back to his best now. He's got 2 this afternoon, coming off 6 last week.
2 goals, and he does it generally very accurately, doesn't he? Accolades all round for the Dockers forward line there. They're working extremely well. Waterhouse is getting quite a bit of football, and they've been constructive use of the ball. They're all been handballs today, but watch this here. A disciplined kick, and a quality kick, virtually directly across the ground to the leading player, right in the right spot. The Dockers at half forward are working extremely well.
Dockers now up by 3 points. Tony Modra, 2 goals, 1 in their tally of 2-4. Back in the middle, Moncourse charges at Bandy. Bandy gets it to Fletcher. Ball flipped up to Prescott. Wide it comes to Sinclair. Not much of a kick. Prestigiacomo wide to Buckley. Buckley on the turn. Gets 45 metres. Slight push by Clement. Play on, said the umpire. Comes Collingwood's way. Centering ball to Curia. Rocker just crunched an opponent down. Ball towed on by O'Reilly. Actually, he's gone towards Collingwood's goal. O'Reilly recovers towards the boundary line. Harding works it over the line. Well, the crowd saying that's just as deliberate as a hand pass or whatever you like. He took possession and trotted it over. No free kick, throw in.
Well, I think the reason we heard the crowd, Drew, because 98% of the crowd are Collingwood supporters, and they all came up in voice, but to no avail.
High tackle on Patterson, within kicking distance. I don't think Fremantle can argue about that.
Well, he's got to pick up the free kicks, Patterson, when he's in hard at the ball. And when you're down low, when you're tackling, you have to be sure that you match the player and go down equally as low. And there's no way there that Dale Kickett was down around the hips where he needed to be. Patterson, he's kicked 2 goals 3 times this year, and so generally makes the best of these. He needs to. They're missing him some real goal-scoring power. So Verio Rocker, their leading goal scorer last year, still out injured. Watson in the reserves, and Anthony Rocker back there now. Patterson needs to be a contributor in this area.
X marks the spot. Bandy, the tallest man on the park, standing the mark.
It's a long run.
Man on the mark is only about 20 metres from goal. Patterson's taken it outside the 50. And kicks truly. Collingwood's second goal from a free kick and another change in the lead.
Yeah, well, we would have expected the game's going to open up tight, and it has been the goal for goal in terms of the scoring, but it's in close. It's going to be most important because the umpires are going to have a significant influence in terms of the free kicks that they give or they don't give. If you're going to tackle today, you have to be conscious of getting in low and hard down around the hips. Keep away from up high near the shoulders.
Well, that great defender, Dale Kickett, is not amused. 2 goals from free kicks, both called on him. As Bandy goes up, knocks it down. Buckley wore one off the ball. Burns knocks it across to Williams, who chips it out wide. Monkey will need to bend. He does. Lays it off. This is Davis. Davis chips it down towards half forward. Brilliantly gathered by Patterson. Gets it across to Williams. Williams from 60 metres out. Rocco. Well, a good grab. Very good grab in front. Slippery ball. Only had one go at it. It was arriving quickly, and so was O'Reilly.
Well, that will do his confidence the world of good. Anthony has been sent back for spending time in defence, where he's worked extremely well under a great degree of pressure. And being in the Collingwood defence over the last few weeks hasn't been the easiest spot in the world to be. Mel Michael back into the side, Rocker into the forward line. Mark number 40 for the season.
Well, his brother has routed the Dockers in recent seasons. Bags of 11 and 9 goals, and now Anthony's on the board this afternoon. 4th for Collingwood.
Well, that's only his 3rd goal for the season. And a beautiful kick.
Yeah, and we know that he is a good kick. What's holding Anthony Rocker back just at the moment is his confidence. And he's got the gloves on today, and I've got no problem with that decision because the conditions are very slippery. And if you're going to be able to take the mark as well as that one was taken wearing the gloves, well, you would keep them on. He is an excellent kick. That ball didn't deviate.
Rocker and O'Reilly, the pair down in the goal square. Anthony Rocker gets his first goal for the game. Bandy faces Monkhorst in the centre circle. Bounce slightly favours Monkey, and he comes out with it. Balks the hand pass, probably should have given it. King, he's lost control of it. McManus works it out. Buckley in there fighting hard. Hurriedly by Norris, wide towards centre wing. Just anywhere will do. And it goes out of bounds. You mentioned a couple of the free kick goals to Collingwood against Kickett. How stiff can you be? Nobody on the ground has had more footy than Kickett. He's had 9 possessions and already conceded 2 goals.
Yep. Nobody said it was fair. Tossed it on the wing. Monkhorst, I can't believe he's not a regular in this team. He's playing well again this afternoon. I saw him against the Eagles a few weeks back and was close to Collingwood's best that day. He's out of favour, but he's working hard. Norris upended. Well done by Davis. Out of bounds on the full. Collingwood ball. What do you think?
I agree with you, and it isn't a great indication of his commitment and his willingness to work back. I mean, at the age he is, he's coming up to 30 years of age. Could have quite easily just bowed out of it and stayed in the resis, but he's back and he is looking in very good form.
Big lead down there by Tarrant. Ball at the back of the pack. Clement only as far as Tarrant. Now the hand pass, I think, came across, but the tackle lingered, so it's going to be a Docker ball. It'll come back to Clement. He hand passed it to Tarrant and then was slung.
It's a pity because the footy that happened just after that was nearly the best footy of the game so far.
Don't tease us. There goes Clement up towards the wing. Waterhouse uncontested takes the ball on the wing. So Clive Waterhouse with his side trailing by 9 points. There's the siren. So it's quarter time in a pretty entertaining term given these conditions. The Dockers started slowly. There's Damien Drum. His name was linked to the Collingwood coaching job last season. Tony Shaw, the incumbent, winless with June still to come. Remarkable stat that he's never coached a win in June since taking over in 1996. Dale's just about had enough. Maybe Tony has too.
He's decided he's not an on-pacer, he's going to be a swooper.
Okay, he's taken it off the calendar, just ripped it down. There was a break on the calendars in the Shaw household. So it's quarter time here at the MCG, and Collingwood have a slight lead, 25-16. The margin is 9 points.
Interesting shot at quarter time. Tony Shaw and Nathan Buckley. Buckley having plenty to say. Who is coaching the side? Comes back towards the centre circle. Burns applying the tackle.
They're probably talking about Couch's beating. Can you imagine that walking up, sort of just lurking off the pack?
What position would you say Buckley is playing today, Wheels? Is there a name for it?
No, they're actually making names up these days, I think, for positions, but he's working the centre bounce. You wouldn't argue with having him in there. He's got to be in amongst it, but the real thing that Tony Shaw's looking for is to be able to kick some score on the board, and getting him forward is, here he is in now.
And look at him peeling off here. Now, he has run a good 40 metres, well, 35 anyway, away to take the mark. Great play by Buckley. That makes you wonder whether they've only got 18 players on the ground. Right to the goal square. It comes off. And Wirra sees it over for a rush behind.
I mean, what he's going to do is just going to keep taking the game on. He's going to be offensively aggressive right throughout the day. He's going to rely on teammates in the centre of the ground like Burns and Orchard and LaCurie to win a lot of football and push it forward for him.
Clement, a massive kick up to inside the centre square. So obviously the Dockers think that breeze is worth a bit. Not wasting time short passing in their own defensive 50. McManus comes up with a footy. Bounce close to the centre circle after just the one kick. Umpire Mitchell's got it. 26 plays 16. Monkhorst again hasn't got it, surely, and he'll get the free kick. Monkhorst leading by example, probably trying to make a point.
Interesting there, Chris Mitchell threw the ball up. Couldn't call it a quagmire. That's what we were...
Drew, the ground is very slippery down here.
So Monkhorst inside the centre square, brandishing the footy. Now he kicks three-quarter distance kick inside the 50. Good grab. Wirra falling to the ground, wants to go immediately and does, looking towards the outer side. Not much happening out there. Goes short instead then. Parker clears the zone up towards the wing. Orchard, timely fist, knocked the ball away from Fletcher. The ball, I thought, was out of bounds. Ship's got it. It is out, and we've got a boundary throw-in.
Now here he is, straight from Antarctica, Couchy.
Thank you, Drew. Andrew Shawble's on the bench, Ben Kinnear, Tyson Lane and Craig Jackatine.
Throw in centre wing, southern stand side. Moncourse palms the ball down. Buckley's hand pass was good play. Back towards the 50 and another mark to Wirra, this time getting up and taking a good chest mark. He's at half back. Dashes away from the man on the mark. Good running by O'Reilly. Dashing away from Rocker. The kick by O'Reilly towards half forward. Norrish, a finger tipper. It's a finger breaker on a day like today. Kick by Norrish. Deep inside the 50. Modra!
He is looking just so confident, Tony Modra. The way in which he attacked the ball, yeah, admittedly the conditions are slippery, as Paul Couch just indicated to us, but this is just sheer confidence. And if you attack it in that manner, more often than not, even in slippery conditions, the ball's going to be yours. Terry,
I'd play in front of Modra on a day like today, especially if the ball gets a little bit heavy. It's a bit trying the wind conditions. Just try that. He has played from behind the last 3 times.
His third mark. Will it be his third goal? Yes, Sariba. Dockers had 3 and he's got them all.
3 goals, 1 he's kicked, and that's a good return. And the reason for that is that he's getting the ball out in front of goal. It's not pushing towards the boundary line, and Paul Couch is pretty close to the mark here, because if Michael was playing in front of Modra then would be forced to lead wider. But once he's got the starting spot being in the front, he's got the whole paddock open for him, and away he can go and be where he wants to be, directly in front of goal.
Tony Delaney on the ground. Already the cream is rising to the top. Buckley and Modra both having very good games. So Dale Kickett is off for Delaney. One down by Monkhorst again. There's Buckley. So long field once more this afternoon for the Dockers, losing in the centre square. Patterson feeds it back. High kick from Freeborn, floats inside the 50. Harding with great courage. Players were coming up to the ball. He went back and took the mark on his chest to Clement, who's playing well. Clement, this needs to go out of bounds for the Dockers. It's close to the boundary line. Wouldn't you know it, stayed in. So Davis with some time, measures the kick from 60 out, turns them all around. Leading back in the race is O'Reilly. Patterson put him down, left the ball behind. Wirra did well. Well, Kickett's still out there, so he's not off the ground. And Harding takes it across the line. Just check that bench then, if you wouldn't mind, Paul.
Just a bench for the Fremantle. It's Garth Taylor, Clem Michael, Chris Bond and Mark Gale.
So Parker to boot it in, and the margin is 5 points Collingwood's way.
Kickett's had 10 touches. Parker seems to have recovered from that knee to the rib in the first quarter from Buckley. Kicked by Parker, clears the 50. Ball flipped over the back by Bandy. Magnificent play. Chance for Prescott. Difficult ball to pick up though, under pressure. He did well, the former Richmond player. Ashley Prescott from centre wing to centre half forward. Nobody there for the Dockers. And Williams takes the mark for the Pies. Across half back he comes. And here's the new boy.
Great chase, Modra.
That was Lockyer. Modra, and he gets it over the boundary line, back towards centre wing.
Well, I reckon that was just a tremendous piece of work there from Tony Modra. He had to go hard, and he had to go a long way to do it, and he did do it. He was asked to do it twice. Here's the first chase on Tarkin Lockyer. It takes him apart, and then head down and goes again to take on Freeborn. Just there enough to be able to force a boundary throw in for his side. Well played.
Terry, Tyson Lane's come on. I reckon that's a great move by Tony Shaw to bring him on. He's a strong body player, in and under, and he has kicked goals before in and around the forward pocket, and that's what Collingwood's lacking. Just a small player to kick goals.
Ball thrown up by umpire Nash this time. The 2 number 2s. Fletcher wins the battle. Doesn't get the hand pass clear. Freeborn intercept. Waterhouse. Very high ball. Breeze at his back. Modra. Michael is there. Rove by Kickett. Couldn't take clean possession. Williams. Ooh. He nearly missed that, but he gets it over the line for a rush behind.
Well, a bit of experience back in defence for the Magpies, and he's the player balancing out the offensive work for Buckley. If Buckley's going to go forward, some quality user of the ball has to remain across the back line for Collingwood, and so that's the structure they've got. Williams is the kicker in the back half, Buckley looking to be the kicker in the forward half.
Williams almost outside the square there. Modra alerting the umpire to that too as the ball goes towards the outer side. Freeborn, Sockers off the ground. Loose ball on the wing. Harding wanted it most, playing with good appetite this afternoon. Ship across to Waterhouse. Waterhouse probing kick. Modra from behind, outmarked by Monkhorst. Going back, the big man did well.
Dennis,
Scotland.
Sorry, Dennis, we just saw that Buckley is on the bench. You would hope there's nothing wrong with his jaw, which he had broke some 5 weeks ago.
Michael gave it to Gotten, who kicks it up towards the wing. Burns hit the ball hard. Runs on. Kicks inside the 50. Modra, fingertips to it, couldn't hang on. Wirra goes back, defending stoutly in this turn. Takes giant strides approaching that ball and chips it up towards midfield. Dropped there by McManus. Now wheels onto his left foot. Kicks for space. Needs a punch away. Well, Lockyer missed it. As a result, they've got problems, the Magpies. Picked up by Sinclair. Not the best spot for it. Holland hand passes across to McManus. McManus chips inside the 50. Going back, Prestigiacomo again. He's taken a few timely marks today. Buckley stretching on the sideline. Shane Kerrison just telling somebody to get off quickly.
We just wonder why that would occur, that Nathan Buckley would be on the interchange bench like that. Yeah, they've made the change. Jacquetine's back off and Buckley's back on. He's gone straight to the forward line, but there was some good 4 or 5 minutes of play without their best playmaker on the ground.
I wonder if he had a message for the coach. Hand pass comes out to Harding. Round the boundary line over centre wing. Now in bright sunshine. A juggle by Ship. Good mark.
Drew, the message was going the other way.
Don't tell me he did something wrong. Couchy?
Yes, I think it was stern words by Tony Shortly.
Ship. Oh, at full stretch. Couldn't quite drag it in, Waterhouse. And they've lost it. Floating hand pass. Davis under pressure. They're all under pressure. Well done by the Dockers. Really good pressure. Toyer gets it going forward. Waterhouse drags it in. The hand pass near the line and out on the 50.
Pretty tough stuff. Collingwood lead by 4 points. Second term from the MCG. Monkhorst. Bandy. Knocked at Goldwood. Burns. Could have been legged and was. So Burns with the free kick. Deep in his own defensive area. Drives it up towards the wing, and that ball exposed to the wind, held up. Buckley charged at it, missed it. Down goes Prescott, been a good player, so too Harding to kick it back to Prescott. Prescott running out of space. McManus presenting himself. Collingwood needs somebody on him and quickly. Centering kick back towards midfield. In goes Williams, met solidly by Sinclair. Toyer in the opposite direction, down goes Norris. That was in the back. Lockyer just jumping into his back. That was silly play. And Norwich has got this ball about 60 metres out from goal.
Yeah, just all too crude there. Norwich was already at ground level. All he had to do was take the jumper.
Modra sold into trouble down there, but waiting behind. Holland picks it up and kicks a goal. The Dockers lead.
Well, the opportunist roving there from Brodie Holland into the side this week. One of 2 changes, he and Chris Bond into the side, and this is the reason he's here. A quality player underneath the contest. The contest is formed as a result of Monkhorst being back there but not being able to clear the area and just swooping in onto it. Young Tarkin Lockyer giving the initial free kick away wasn't all that good in what he did.
All back in the centre with Fremantle now leading by 2 points. Well, they've kicked 2 goals in this quarter, but both goals came when Buckley was on the ground for Collingwood. He went off in between them. Hand pass comes back to Freeborn. A little bit slick for Burns, who got a fingernail to it. There's Buckley. Inside the 50. Well, luck might be a fortune there. Patterson marks.
It's a great pickup, though, wasn't it?
Wasn't it ever? He was shifting part of the ground just there where Stephen Patterson is. Man on the mark's about 45 metres. Patterson couldn't goal from there. Davis.
That was very well made, wasn't it? I mean, it was quite a congested area that the kick was coming into. I'm not sure whether Davis was the intended target, but once it was in the air, he decided to make it his and forced his way through any contests that were forming there. And he comes, Harding just holding back that little, really didn't get there, and Davis with that extra lunge makes it. Been a very impressive first-year player, already a Norwich Rising Star nominee earlier on, and returned this week, one of 5 changes after a couple of weeks out with a rib injury.
19-year-old son of Craig Davis, right in front, 45 metres. Great looking kick. Oh, poster. Unlucky. Dockers hit the post going that way in the first quarter, so it's woodwork, 1 each.
Dockers by a point then. Clement going for distance again. Not bad policy in these conditions. Just over 11 minutes till half-time. McManus missed the ball, appeared to be held on to by King. Gets the hand pass away nevertheless. Parker to Harding. Harding finding some form this afternoon, kicking it out very wide. Norrish close to the line with Orchard. We'll have a boundary thrower. Jason Norrish, who started on the bench. Played some footy on this ground for Melbourne, of course, a few seasons back before going home to join the Dockers. Monkhorst again hooks it down behind. Can't give him free rein. Davis had a chance at the ball. Burns crashed out of a tackle. Orchard nicely done, releases King. King's on the wing. The short one finds Rocker. A runner cruising past. The hand pass comes to Davis. Davis kicks inside the 50. Lane low down. Spilt the mark. Patterson across the body. Pulls it back. Going back is Parker. Guess who? Buckley, did he have the ball? Play goes on in the square. And Kickett concedes a behind and ties up the scores.
Just straight out aggressive play at the ball there from Nathan Buckley. Possibly a free kick, but the ball spins out. Lane really should have made better of that. He had the ball right there in his hands, but didn't take it cleanly enough.
Stephen O'Reilly marks about 40 metres out from goal. Scores level 4-5 apiece, and 3 rush behinds to Collingwood in this quarter. Across the ground he comes to Parker. And the short pass is still only to the 50. Oh, trouble for Clement. Spins out of it just. Up to Toyer, and they're off and running. Prescott forward to the centre circle. Ashley Prescott looking for Modra. It comes a bit short. They fill the hole in front of him. But the mark was dropped. Still a chance for the Dockers. Fletcher's hand pass. Waterhouse in front, 20 metres. He hooked it and missed. '50th game today for Clive Waterhouse.
And he really needs to make better of his opportunities. Last week he was seemingly quite wasteful with his use in the ball in the forward line. 2 goals, 3 behinds and a miss. A player who can play at half forward as well as he should nail these opportunities that he had just then.
Burns a second telling kick after the first one hit him on the chest. Freeborn drops it, had the presence of mind to go to Michael. Freeborn's got problems now. Arriving quickly Sinclair. It's knocked out to King. King does well. Good evasion across the body. Rocker worked out of it by O'Reilly. Waiting in front, it's all Collingwood. Burns slips as he kicks. It wanders down towards the 50. Takes a big hop. Kick it over the top. Bad luck. Comes to Davis. Davis, who hit the post moments ago, tries for the other one. The behind.
Looked like he did.
Toyer moving around rather gingerly after a collision. And 30 points apiece is our score.
Battle for the wooden spoon. Stakes high, and there's nothing in it. A real arm wrestle. Dockers have been to the MCG in 4 previous years, 9 times, and haven't managed to win. They got to within a point of Essendon in '96. That was the closest. Kick outside the 50. Rocker in front. Punched by Bandy. Comes to O'Reilly. Jackatine. Rocker. He can kick it a mile. He puts it to the top of the square. Good play, son. Chance for Davis. But the Dockers have it. It comes down the front to Parker. Beautiful hand pass. Toyer straight up the centre corridor. Kicked by Luke Toyer. Number 1, past number 1. Monkhorst couldn't mark. And Norrish has been good since he came off the bench. Once again looks for Modra. Oh, perfect.
And just that bit of experience. You can see the right hand. Modra, just when he gets within 5 metres of the ball, there's the right hand that just chops Michael out of the way. Michael gets pretty close here, but then just a little push out of the way and then continues on for the ball.
Well, Modra gave the ball off. Now Sinclair has it on the 50, runs around and kicks it behind. So Modra would have been kicking from just outside 50. He didn't like the distance, which is a surprise. A bit of a gale at his back, Dennis.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have taken a shot. Still. Knows his capabilities best, I guess.
Dennis, that wind's dropped too.
Modra putting on something of a clinic. When it goes down there, he's looking very dangerous. Buckley marks the kick in. He's at half back. Precisely. Gets it up to Prestigiacomo. Well held there by Sinclair. Orchard was cruising past. A point the difference. The Dockers lead. Prestigiacomo from half back, kicking up towards half forward. O'Reilly defiantly gets a fist on this one. Freeborn. Played in 2 grand finals for North Melbourne, including a premiership. Dragged off it. Out of bounds on the full. Dockers ball. Kick to be taken, I think, by O'Reilly. Curia stepping off the ground. Meantime, here's O'Reilly. Defensive side of the wing, kicking it high down towards half forward. Modra up early. Must be a free kick against Modra, and the umpire's whistle not working as perhaps it should have.
Use your hands in gymnastics, but not in footy like that.
And Monkhorst turning in a blinder at the moment.
Yeah, welcome back, Monkey. Well, Buckley diving. He's paid the mark. Bit of a half volley there.
I think so.
Right on centre wing. Have a look at this mark. Bit of ground in that. Gee, he did pretty well.
Yeah.
Burns has it up near the 50, and it's walked over the line by O'Reilly for a boundary throw-in.
I'm just wondering why I didn't square the ball up through the corridor there instead of making it easy for the Fremantle backline just to keep it out of bounds.
Damien Monkhorst today playing game 195. He's had 8 possessions, 2 marks, a few hit-outs. Rocker in ruck here for the boundary throw-in. Comes to Toya. Floated over the top by Sinclair. Now to Parker. Little left footer. Over Ship on centre wing. Here's Monkey again. Oh! But don't argue if you don't mind a bar. And he's given away the free to Ship.
Well, a well-earned free kick there by Andrew Ship too. Being prepared to get in and take the big monkey on.
Bandy getting loose. Looking for Modra, who lets it bounce. Not beyond him, this one. In the pocket, likes his chances, pulls it back. Oh, Tony Modra. He's got 4.
Well, OK, let's take this goal back to Andrew Ship, though. You know, we had Damien Monkhorst on the charge on the wing, coming boring down the ground, and Andrew Ship decides to stand his ground there and wins this free kick. A very, very well-earned free kick, and just the toss of play here, and it's a good exchange. Bandy's so very good in the midfield. He offers an opportunity, but then uses it well. But Modra on the turn, always dangerous. That's a great kick. 4 goals.
Oh, Tony Modra, 6 kicks, 4 goals, 1, and Fremantle have kicked 5-7. So what a contribution by the champ, Tony Modra. And we're still well short of half-time. 6 minutes to go to half-time. Buckley takes it out of the middle. Ball sits up for him beautifully. Off the left, 60 metres out, down towards the pocket. Clement got to the front. And the ball held to Wirra, and the umpire will ball it up. Tony Modra is the 2nd best average amongst current players in the AFL, behind Tony Lockett. He averages 3.7 goals a game, and he's already ahead of that to half-time here today. So he's revived his career since going to the Dockers. He's kicked 6 in the last 2 weeks, and he's well on the way to doing it again.
Yes, an excitement machine. There's Kickett, smothered off the boot by Rocker. Slick hand pass. Bandy in trouble. Dragged down. Buckley against the flow. Something good can happen here for Collingwood. He kicks, and he kicks a goal. That's a team lifter. Well, I talked about the cream rising to the top. At one end, Modra on the run. At the other, Buckley standing his ground. The tide was going one way. He put his stamp on a marvellous goal. Watch it again.
He does so, doesn't he? There's no concerns about his jaw injury in the way in which he's playing the game. Buckley prepared to stand in the face of the play coming towards him and turns it back the other way. The quality user of the ball. I mean, 2 goals, one in the first, one in this second. He's the one for Collingwood.
1 point the difference. Buckley up to 14 possessions already. 5.5 minutes to half-time. King dispossessed. Toya for Fremantle. Tough contest in there. You start with 4 players each when the umpire bounces it, and within a split second you've got about a dozen each.
They come in hard, and so what makes it important in the centre bounce is to get the ball free, not necessarily your body free. There's no room to be cute in there. Just get the ball out with either a quick kick or quick hands.
Prestigiacomo buried by Toya, who was fighting out of his weight division. Collingwood fans wanted a free kick for in the back, and I think Prestigiacomo might be spitting out a bit of turf when he comes up here. Buried. And
a good player to have back into the lineup, isn't he? Toya missed games late last year with a knee injury, but him, McManus back, they're starting to get a little bit tougher in the midfield.
One of Prestigiacomo's old coaches said, keep your head over the ball. As Bond gets a hand pass out, this is Wirra. Wirra, a high kick. Modra in front, fisted away by Michael this time, and hung in the air a long time. Waiting in front, King, sock it away. Toya, it's almost holding the ball, it is. Orchard working very hard. Hasn't got a lot of possessions, but gee, he's been at the base of most packs and tackling back hard. This is King. King's away from half-back. Collingwood now going forward, looking for the lead. Great battle out there. Parker over the ball. Comes across
with the Western Bulldogs. He needs to be able to repay that faith in him in his second club.
Well, he'll be kicking from about 50 metres. He kicked 5 goals in an Ansett Cup game in Canberra earlier in the year. And another poster. 3 at that end of the ground. And the scores are all tied up.
Yeah, so in 5 goals in that game, Drew, and he did look very lively. I think he actually played at full forward in that particular game. And he's not going to be that in this AFL season structure here for Collingwood. He needs to be the player that works in and around.
Fletcher to Sinclair. Sinclair has been busy this afternoon, goes back. Harding about 15 metres out from goal. Not much gain there. So Harding virtually in the role of the man kicking in again. 37 apiece. Delaney the target this time, driven around the outer side. Burns, quality opposition, always need to check that. Burns pulls it back towards the middle. They came from all directions. Wirra knocked it down. King missed it. Chance for O'Reilly, dragged down by Oborne. Spills wide to be taken by Harding. Harding's hand pass intended for Delaney, picked up by Clement, goes back. Harding, hard against the line. Kicks it around the boundary. It ricocheted off a Collingwood player and goes out. 37 apiece, approaching half-time, just over 2 minutes till the major break. Just repeating hail about 10 minutes before we started, some indication of just how cold it is. Monkhorst, up he goes again, gets it down. Buckley slung on the half volley. It's taken by Sinclair. Sinclair towards the wing. Prestigiacomo knocking away from Ship, who bounces into Burns. Burns trapped it brilliantly. Prestigiacomo across to Scotland. Scotland the high kick. They'll contest just wide of the centre square. Monkhorst launched himself. The MCG moved. Davis gets a hand pass to Freeborn. Freeborn kicks it down towards half forward. In front down there is Parker. Another grand game in defence this afternoon by Parker. He pushes it across the line. Consummate defender, Shane Parker. Always gets a big man, big name sometimes too, and does a great job. 37 apiece.
But at the moment, he's been picked up by Clinton King, who looks like a primary school boy out in the AFL.
He can play against big and small, can't he, Parker?
Monkhorst doing a phenomenal job. Paul Williams on the forward line. It swings back, but not enough.
It's rare that sort of kick would go left to right, isn't it?
And Terry, wouldn't it be great to have Paul Williams up on the forward line there? Even another dangerous forward for Collingwood.
Yeah, you're right there, Couchy. I mean, he uses the ball so well. We saw him here at the G a few weeks back against Essendon, where he kicked 5 goals. Come off a tough one last week in Brisbane Lions, but so did all the Collingwood side, and they've really had to deal with that during the week. And I think particularly they've done much better today has been their centre bounce work, and I think Monkhorst has been a main contributor for that.
Williams did kick 5 on Anzac Day against Essendon, and that was Collingwood's narrowest defeat for the season.
Gale on the ground now, kicking it down towards half forward, and Waterhouse knocked away by Godden. The base of that is Sinclair, and the whistle inside the last minute of the first half, and Collingwood lead by a point. 38 to 37. 5-8 to 5-7. Umpire Mitchell tosses this one up. Knocked down by Bandy, taken by Orchard, in trouble. Still he goes, Orchard, with courage. Reefed the ball back in. Hand passes towards the boundary, and it goes out in front of Burns. Buckley, 15 possessions. Leads all players on the ground. Davis has 15 as well. Behind, a chance for Buckley. No, it's picked up by Lockyer. Toya slow to get up. Kick bounces high on the wing, taken by Norris. Down to 30 seconds to go. Can the Dockers get a late goal? They go wide. Norris's kick goes out towards half forward now. In front is Sinclair. Scotland is with him. Still Sinclair, close to the line, twisting, turning. From the wing, hooks it back to half forward. Buckley has to stand his ground and takes the mark. Dying seconds of the term. And fitting really that Buckley has this ball. Is he bleeding from the mouth there? Buckley kicks it up towards the wing.
Dirt.
The mark is taken by Patterson. There's the siren. Just dirt, we'd think.
David, he's played a fantastic first half. 5 weeks off, out of the game, 16 possessions, 2 goals, and he's playing midfield, back and forward.
Yep, he's doing it all just at the moment, and if there was any trace of blood and I was a Dockers player, I'd be bringing the umpire up to have a look at this man, because he's the one you want off the ground in terms of the Collingwood side. Whereas for the other end, Tony Modra has been very good. 2 goals in each of the first 2 quarters, and more importantly, he's been very aggressive on his leads, and the players upfield have honoured that type of work. They've been disciplined in bringing him to centre half forward, giving Modra shots from pretty much in front of goal. Tony Shaw still has the job in front of him. It's been a tough ball. They've only led once at half time before, and that was in round 1 against Hawthorn. Obviously went on to lose that one, so he always has much to do at half time, Tony Shaw. But with this particular squad, it's a good young one, and I think there'll be a great degree of enthusiasm, Dennis, that will come out for the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, the margin was 9 points. Collingwood's way at quarter time. It's back to just the 1 now. 5-8, 5-7 as the Dockers get together, chasing their 2nd victory of the season. Half-time at the MCG. 5-8, 5-7 our scoreline.
His work in the ruck has been excellent, particularly boundary throw-ins where he's pushed in strong and hard.
Start of the 3rd term at the MCG. The bottom 2 sides, pride and much more on the line, certainly for Collingwood's coach, Tony Shaw. Get the feeling they've got to win this afternoon. Buckley out of the centre square again, his 17th possession, starting up where he left off. Bond camped in front of the pack. Fletcher, there's a free kick, I think, coming back to Bond. Was held a long time in the tackle. One of best and fairest, and played 100 games for the Tigers, so he knows this ground very well. Bond driving it down towards half forward, and that's a telling kick. It's gone the best part of 65 metres, that one. Waiting behind Williams, run over by Toya. Over the ball is Sinclair, lost it. Monkhorst is in there, dragged down. Goes after it, slaps it out. Knocked out by Freeborn. Scotland a hand pass, gained about 15 metres. Williams tries to soccer. Fletcher reefs it in. Williams did well. Timely hand on the ball, kept it in, and we'll have a ball up.
Gee, how important are these 4 premiership points to both of these sides? If Collingwood lose here today, they'll finish up 2 games behind the rest of the field. Ball out towards the boundary line and over.
So when you express it there like that, Drew, that really does give it an edge, doesn't it? If you're 2 games behind, there's a lot to be made up, and a young bench still, Couchy.
Collingwood bench: Chris Tarrant, Ben Kinnear, Paul Lacuria, Tyson Lane. Terry?
Well, if Collingwood do get 2 games behind, you wonder whether there's any hope of them getting out of it and finishing anywhere else but wooden spoon. Make it very tough, and don't they know it?
And from an administrative position, Drew, it's a very hard one to manage. I mean, there's a young boy playing up with the Murray Bushrangers, young Josh Fraser, a tall, agile ruckman who could be the next one to take over from Damien Monkhorst. #1 draft pick next year without any doubt. He's there for the bottom side. But that's not to say you're designed to finish bottom, I'm sure.
That is just a little bit of a wet part of the ground. Look at the players coming up out of that contest. And for some reason, there is just a little bit of a mud heap just inside the 50 there. Umpire throws it up. Monkey goes up high. Clean possession. Slides the hand pass away. Scotland goes off the ground. And the ball out of play. And Couchy, the Fremantle bench.
Thanks, Drew. Garth Taylor, Brodie Holland, Tony Delaney and Daniel Bandy.
That mud heap. Not a patch on the old days, Drew.
That's right. Actually, it's about the first wet day of football we've had in Melbourne for 2 seasons, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's bitterly cold to go with it. I hope people in Perth appreciate the conditions here.
I know Melbourne weather does come in for heaps from people interstate, but honestly, it's been a drought for as long as we can remember. Collingwood by a point. Michael against Monkhorst with the tallest, Bandy, sitting on the bench. Fletcher crunched by Freeborn. Ball spills out to Bond. Bond a centering kick to the 50. Light rain falling at the moment. Monkhorst in front of the pack. Applies the tackle on Sinclair. Ball knocked up the ground into the centre circle on the cricket pitch area. Well done by the new boy Lockyer, who slides the ball across. Up inside 50. King about 10 metres in the clear.
He was just so far by himself, King. I don't know whether Dale Kickett was his direct opponent at the start, but he somehow got well away and given Collingwood the chance from inside 50.
55 metres out. He couldn't make the distance. Rocker waited at the back. Harding. Jackatine, good tackle. And a defensive handball through for a point. Was given off there by Brad Wirra, and Collingwood lead by 2 points. So actually Collingwood's score, which is 5-9, has 4 rush behinds, and in a game which might be decided by a point, any of these could decide it.
Yep. So Parker, short, very short. Riley, low down. In the rain. Wirra's got it. The lights burning brightly now. Clement still has it inside the defensive 50. Magpies lead by 2 points. Clement has been kicking long this afternoon, drives it around the outer side, hitting the pack was Waterhouse, and it will be a Collingwood free kick, and that masked man is Nathan Buckley.
Things like that make you a hand in your presidency of the Waterhouse fan club?
I reconsider at times. Burns inside the 50. Socket away by Norrish, or was it Fletcher? Fletcher picked up by Wirra. Getting very difficult. Players having to readjust after the long break. Picked up by McManus, who kicks it up towards the wing. Clever by Williams. Little push. Norrish knocked off balance as a result, and Williams goes back and finds the footy. High kick down towards half forward. Buckley gave a contest. It spills wide. Patterson, great balance by Patterson. 60 metres out across the body. It bounces about 25 metres out. Oh, well done. Rocket to Buckley. Buckley snaps. What a wonderful goal in the wet.
Well, what a finish. The quality of the kick there, but we've really also got to acknowledge Anthony Rocker. His attack on the ball, with the rain that we've got here now, whenever the ball hits the ground, it's really going to just skid on, and so you have to be hard at it. Collingwood were in this particular contest, first Buckley, then Patterson, but here's Rocker, the skidding ball straight at it, and then just so quickly on. If you're Buckley in front of goal, you might as well give it to him.
Sensational goal by Nathan Buckley, his third, 1 in each quarter. But the start, the middle and the finish of that goal just mark that down for one of the highlights of the season. Umpires coming in to throw this ball in the air. Pretty steady rain falling at the MCG. The Collingwood faithful have come out again. Not in huge numbers, it's fair to say. Michael takes clean possession. His kick up short of the 50. Waterhouse taken off it by Godden. Socket away by Godden towards the centre wing boundary line. Toyer, Godden in his back, umpire. Advantage goes to Sinclair. McManus it was, and the short pass to Bond. Bond popping one over the top. Ship to the 50, and Norrish takes the mark. Now Modra will like this because Norrish has given him a couple of beauties. It's not Modra, it's Waterhouse. Well done again, Jason Norrish.
That was too easy, wasn't it?
Much too easy. I mean, Clive Waterhouse, he does have to be watching the forward line. Even when he does become erratic and his form drops off, you can't allow him any space. And this is just too much space from the Collingwood defence.
But Terry, it was Luke Godden who gave the free kick down on the wing here, and that's his man there in Clive Waterhouse taking the mark.
It was a silly free kick too, wasn't it, really?
It was senseless. No point in it. Should have taken the side of the body instead of running straight at him. It's just...
So Waterhouse, for his first goal today in his 50th game. Away to the left, and a behind. Well, set shot from there. That should have been a goal in a tight game.
Just does let himself down at times, doesn't he, Clive Waterhouse? It's 2 behinds this afternoon. Gives him 10-9 for the season, and you know, that's really just running at 50%, which isn't good enough from a quality forward.
It gives the ball to a quality kicker like Williams, who rarely misses a target coming out. Prestigiacomo's got it. There's the next link in the chain up ahead, Nathan Buckley. The kick goes in that direction, coming across on the angled shore ball, though, knocked away by Clement. Out of bounds. So a boundary throw in with the Magpies now up by 7 points. That sort of day.
Got to give it to fans who stick through thick and thin.
And don't sit under a roof. Outdoors people. Burns down towards the 50. In front Jackatine. Comes across to King. King pulls around the body. There's almost been interference to Rocker. Fell in front. Oborn off his step. It wanders down towards full forward. Jackatine once more. Brilliantly done to Davis. And the youngster from the ACT, I think, has been it around for a goal.
What class and balance was shown there by Nick Davis. Just his work on the left, just be able to work it around. And then just he lays the ball across the foot here. You see it as it comes up. Just lays the ball on the foot perfectly where the lace is directed towards the goal. See, there it is. And just drags it around while he's going hard towards the boundary line. Good balance, good goal.
Nick Davis, a terrific goal by the teenager who came to Collingwood under the father-son rule. Monkhorst wins in the middle. He started in 88, but came down to Fletcher. His kick inside the 50. First game, a Lockyer. Clears for Collingwood towards the southern stand side, and the ball bounces out of bounds.
So that last goal of Nathan Buckley's just before half-time now becomes quite important, because he then came out and gave them the catalyst, getting the first goal of this third quarter, and now Davis has backed it up. They've kicked the last 3 goals of the game and just starting to gather some momentum in the Magpies.
Buckley with 3 and 19 possessions in his comeback game. There he is, fighting for the hard ball. Takes Michael off it. Fletcher. Bond. Oh, Buckley picked up. Magnificent play by Buckley. And his kick gains about 25 or 30 metres.
He is amazing. Just the quality player out there, no question. Can he go the distance? He's missed 5 weeks. Burns and Bond, 2 hard doers. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on. Throw in, Michael and Monkhorst. Monkhorst down to the back. Prescott miscues. Picked up by Freeborn. Spins out of trouble and proceeded to give it away. Down goes Bond. Going in solidly, Burns against the flow. Davis. Davis kicks it down towards half forward. Loose ball at the back. Harding took a while. Dragged off it. Jackatine. Got it away to the King. King pulls it back towards full forward. Orchard in front. Coming through Rocker. And out of bounds along the ground. Jackatine to King. Sounds like from a Jackatine to a King, an old Ned Miller song from the 60s.
Oh, good one. What colour was the label?
It was purple.
Only you and Sandy would know that one. Did you want to talk football with us?
No, I'll let it go.
This is big stuff.
Out of defence, O'Reilly. Across the ground and out of bounds. Go on, Wheels, talk footy.
All I was going to say was Collingwood really have found a new level of intensity here in the opening part of this third quarter. They've been very hard and aggressive. The players who you expect to lead that push there in Burns and Patterson have come to the fore and been very hard and aggressive.
Oh, Buckley crunches through the pack. They didn't get through, though. Burns had a bit of an air shot and the ball out of bounds. And about 25 metres around from the behind post. 13-point lead is a pretty big break in a game like this. Can Collingwood break through? win their first of the season. Out of defence, not a great kick, it's right in front. Collingwood mark, Freeborn. And Freeborn could nearly dob this.
That was a clever mark, wasn't it?
And against also a physically strong player. I mean, Gale is a strong man, and so they were well pitted there. Just that Freeborn had the good, solid purchase on the ground. His legs were well spread, and the hip work was very strong on Gale.
This for his first score today. Crunch time. Can he make the distance? Away to the right and marked on the behind line. Michael.
Now it gets a bit awkward. So Michael to bring it out straight up the middle, spots two Dockers. McManus decided to go late. Now he's run down from behind, some indecision there. They pay the price. In midfield, Freeborn goes with the stops. He stopped it across to Buckley, and Buckley kicks inside the 50, and Wirra takes the mark on his chest. He moved that ball, Freeborn, with the sole of his foot, I'm sure. Here's Wirra, short, McManus.
The Dockers found that sometimes two isn't better than one.
That's right. They almost messed it up. Harding, they do better this time as he kicks it up to the winger. Clever mark taken by Fletcher, shielding the ball from Patterson initially and then taking the grab. O'Reilly centres it. McManus working hard now. 11 possessions in the final term last week. The catalyst in their victory to Prescott. Prescott from about 70 metres out. The Dockers could do with a goal here. Modra battling, appeared to be held. There was plenty of pushing though. Sinclair dragged down. Norrish off a step, bends it back wide of the mark. A behind.
Tony Modra continues to provide a contest at least up in the forward line for the Fremantle side. He started the game in a real blaze of glory. His leading was good. They were honouring the leads, good use of the ball into him. But as it starts to tighten up, and the game will always tighten up in the third quarter, it comes down to a bit more of a body contest. And what Modra has to do now is continue to provide a contest there and have small players at the foot of it.
Good long kick, close to the line. Prestigiacomo actually keeps it in. Freeborn, well done, off the left hand. Patterson. He looked for the line then. There was no doubt, nothing else in his mind, but he got away with it. And the umpire calls for the boundary throw-in. Collingwood played every game in Victoria up until last week when they had to go to the Gabba. So that was their first interstate trip. They'll only have 4 for the whole season. Dockers will travel interstate 10 times. Prestigiacomo under pressure from Bandy back on the ground.
Cool.
Lightning decision, and the free kick given. Collingwood free kick to Prestigiacomo.
He's played pretty well this afternoon. A bit lucky there. He's in the back pocket. Sends play towards the outer side. Burns crashes in as he always does. Fletcher likewise. Spills wide. Norrish, can he control it? Yes, he can. Feeds it wide. Bond hard against the line. Hooks it back. Modra out of the contest. Waiting in front. Sinclair taken high. He'll get the free kick.
Tackled by the ponytail, wasn't he?
Well, there's no doubt about it again. Heath Scotland, we've spoken earlier today about when you're going to tackle in these conditions, you've got to ensure that you get down low around the hips. And when it's high like that and it starts high, the person being tackled will always drop downward, drop towards the knees, and the tackle then slip up high and will pick up the free kick.
So the margin is 12 points. Very important kick, this one. Get it back to 6. And he shouldn't miss from here. 25 metres out, Jess Sinclair. Ooh, the goal umpire's gone a long way, and I think he has missed. Well, you've just got to take those chances on a day like today. They trail by 11. Agitation all round.
Well, he's had 3 shots for goal for 3 behinds. 11 points the margin. A real slog between bottom and second bottom here at the MCG. Collingwood have lost 13 straight. Dockers have lost 12 straight until their win last week. Here come the Dockers again. Prescott, and well done by Shipp. This youngster who virtually walked in off the street and got a game for Springvale and played in a premiership side. picked up in the draft, number 64, and looks a player, Dennis.
Yes. I think he floated in off the street.
But just to be able to keep coming back the way he did there was very courageous.
Ship for goal. And he's missed to the right, I fancy. Oh, no. Are they squandering some opportunities here?
Oh, Damien.
Gee,
By
that's
1,000 cuts.
I have to say, Dennis, that is one of the toughest chairs to sit in there. You can physically do nothing about what's going on out in front of you,
no.
but you hold total responsibility.
2-1 to 4 behinds this quarter.
Burns to the outer side. Ship keen to make amends, didn't have the footy. Bond hand passes wide. Gale's got it. I think the free kick will come back to Ship, being held. So his ball outside the 50, and you get the feeling this is a very important time in this game. Fremantle trying hard now to get back on terms. They've had their chances. Kick comes in. Prestigiacomo comes back, but Bandy somehow has taken the mark. Another shot at goal here for Daniel Bandy, about 15 metres out on a sharp angle. Uncanny, that mark, because Prestigiacomo was coming back hard and obviously making it difficult, and somehow it just lobbed in there. So Bandy with the most difficult shot of the three. I'm not sure he's going to watch Damien Drum. Bandy comes in and has kicked this one. Dockers back in business.
Well, the last few minutes have belonged to the Dockers. The ball's been locked in their forward line and they've worked hard, and they needed to get a return for it. They've got their first goal of the third quarter, and even though that is their only score this quarter, their first goal, their use of the ball and their winning of the ball has really given them some degree of control in the game over the last few minutes. So now to be able to back up now with another centre bounce break their way is very important.
Well, after all their attacking, finally the Dockers get a goal at the 19-minute mark of this third quarter. They're first for the term. Clean possession, Moncourse. Good body work by Michael. They're crunching through here, the Dockers. And even though they trail, the margin's only 4 points, and you can just sense that the Dockers are coming at the Pies at the moment.
What Collingwood have got to protect is getting a steel elbow, so to speak. When the game starts to tighten up and the opposition come back at you, you've still got to be able to play the game aggressively and hard.
Ship, hand pass wide to McManus. Goes off the ground. Oh, Bond takes the mark about 12 metres away. Modra in the goal square. The kick in that direction. Modra! Oh, it would have been a sensational mark. Not quite. Collingwood have it. Back to Michael, who's had trouble with Tony Modra today. Michael's kick back near the centre. Clement drops the mark. It goes Collingwood's way. Little toe poke by Patterson. Chance for Williams. He can't break the tackle. Clement gets back to Toya, and they've turned it over. Parker goes for a gallop down the middle. Long kick by Parker. Modra hadn't got back to full forward. Michael in front. Mal Michael clears for Collingwood. Williams has to do it all again.
On the outer side wing, Norris arrives quickly and slaps it away. And out of bounds.
Yeah, Parker didn't make the most of this push forward, and it was a result of this jump here from Tony Modra. As he comes down, it's a fairly solid thud that he goes down onto that hip and was slow to get up. And when the rebound came from Parker, Modra wasn't quite ready and allowed Michael to take the easy clearance.
Moncourse had it, then lost it. Fletcher's over the ball. Orchard working hard, trying to take it away from him is Parker.
18 marks to 3, Fremantle this quarter.
They really picked up control of the ball, I think, and what they're still being able to control it, short kick around, but still I think there's a distinct change in their pattern of play, and they are using it longer and stronger through the centre corridor.
Fletcher was taken over the shoulder, no free. Michael paddles it forward to be picked up by Bond. Bond gains about 10 metres, very close to the boundary line. No gain, out of bounds on the full. A vigorous boundary umpire. He crashed through a couple.
Just as he's had his arms.
Eyes only for the chalk. Forget the footy.
He didn't want it where he got it either.
This is my line, pal, and I'm going to walk it. There's Prestigiacomo from half-back, driving it up towards the wing. Good mark by Harding. 4 points the difference. Collingwood in front. Dockers having one of their better periods in this game, though. Had they kicked straight, they could have established a handy lead. Harding back towards half forward, then goes the high bomb. In front, Prestigiacomo, pay the mark.
You mentioned his form. Dennison has been very good over the last month. Started the season in the reserves, and there was a question mark on whether he was going to be the player that we initially thought he would be. But form over the last month's been very strong in the back line.
6 marks to Simon Prestigiacomo. Nobody's taken more than that.
Buckley's free. Now he spread illegal the pack there, but must have been pushed in the back initially. Is that the call? No.
So Buckley's kick towards the 50-yard, courage by Wirra. It was Anthony Rocker bearing down. Stephen Patterson not too happy here with James Clement.
Hey, James, I don't know if you're allowed to do that anymore, mate.
No,
he was a hand down.
He was at the SCG. He saw a plugger. He knows what to do.
You're allowed to do it, but you need money in the bank if you want to try. Kick towards centre wing. Buckley again.
Geez, he's money in the bank. He is a gold investment for this club.
King at centre half forward. I saw him kick a goal from 50 metres here last year, but he doesn't like the chances this time. He goes short, and very well done. Andrew Shawble, whom we haven't seen today. We've got him for just one hand so far.
Andrew.
They've turned it up. Parker has it at centre half back. Collingwood by 4 points, but you wonder how long this lead will last.
Holland has got it from half back up towards the wing, taken by McManus. Sean McManus wasting no time, goes looking for Bandy. The mark's out in front of his face, down towards right half forward. Collingwood a golden opportunity there. Shawble lacking the confidence to go at goal. Buckley gets a fist on it, angles it towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds. 51 plays 47, and certainly Paul Couch, the tempo is lifted.
It certainly has, Dennis. And the thing with Collingwood is mentally now, they say, oh, we're not in this position again, we're not going to lose again, and they just dropped away a bit. And that was a terrible kick by Shawble then, and just gives the Collingwood side just demoralising for him.
Like to use Couchy now and again, otherwise he'll free us up as the kick comes down towards the 50. Taylor worked off the ball. Godden falling to the ground, got the hand pass away. Lucuria hugs the boundary line. Harding's in front, had it knocked away. Oborne was there with him. It's out of bounds right on the wing.
And Nick Davis has come off with cramp.
Thanks, Couchy. They're applying a blowtorch to Couchy's joints at half-time, just to get him mobile again. Comes to the back of the pack. Holland. Oh, that is no attempt to get the hand pass out. You didn't fool me, but I think you've conned the umpire. The umpire comes in, will ball it up. Have a look at this handball. Yes, I'm trying to hit the ball here, umpire. See the ball. Harding. Comes to McManus. They're at half-back, the Dockers. Patterson got a hand to it in there. And gets one in the back. Well played, Stephen Patterson.
Patterson at left half forward. Sean McManus, a wonderful player to watch. Very much the one-touch player. He's missed a lot of football. So much quality if he stays healthy. There goes the kick well inside the 50. Down in front, Rocker. Having said that, McManus fumbles. Parker, well, he was mugged. Held to him, says the umpire, and will have a ball up about 40 metres out. They arrived in a bad mood, a couple of Collingwood players. 4 points the difference. Rocker waits. Wide of the pack, all Collingwood. Shawble gets it away. In trouble, out of trouble, Tarrant. 55 metres out. Floats it towards the pocket. It bounces once and goes across the line. So 2:55, a little bit over, 2:58 to go till three-quarter time. And Collingwood coming back at Fremantle after Fremantle held some dominance there for about 10-12 minutes. Didn't make full effect of it. Comes to Shawble, who prefers the snap, obviously. Well, no. Out of bounds on the bounce in the pocket. 51-47, approaching three-quarter time. Two teams really strangers to winning in recent times. The Dockers did it last week. Showed they could. Collingwood, some self-doubt. Burns can't control it. Fletcher paddling it in front. Down he goes, Fletcher. Hand passes back. Burns has got it now. Plenty of company. It comes across to Davis. Davis snaps. And the margin is 5 points. was it Jackatine? Jackatine had the kick.
Craig Jackatine, who captained Victorian Metropolitan last year in the under-18s. 5 points the margin. Collingwood clinging to the lead. Close to three-quarter time. Well, one thing's guaranteed. It's going to be tight in the last quarter. They won't want to leave the telecast from the MCG. Desperation stakes for both. Kick by Clement with distance towards centre wing. Oh, almost dragged down by Michael. He comes again. Well done, son. But cleared here by Lockyer. Parker, who's been very good, taken over the line. Didn't do much to get rid of it, and he's holding the ball. The tackler didn't quite get him to the line, which is just as well because he's won the free kick. Orchard takes it quickly. In the back or over the shoulder, Jackatine. Craig Jackatine puts it to the top of the square. Buckley! Oh! Collingwood free right in front. I don't know whose, I don't know what for.
Patterson's, I think, for holding the man.
Well, umpire Mark McKenzie, he was right there. So he's the one with the best look at it. And here it is here. Patterson on the charge. The McManus hand goes over the shoulder. Patterson makes sure that the umpire sees it with a loud appeal. And it's been honoured. He will mark his spot. He marks that spot there just to ensure that he gets a straight line on his approach into kick. He's identified a spot well behind the goals. He's identified the man on the mark, and now that scratch on the dirt, and he comes back. Dennis says he does tend to come back a long way. But what Patterson does is make sure he has momentum up when he goes to kick the football here. Technically, this is very, very sound. Let's hope it's straight.
This is more like Patrick Patterson. He's kicked it. He got a good memory to remember Patrick Patterson.
I'll stick with Patterson's curse. That's about all I get. But they're right back now. Dennis indicated that the Dockers had their opportunity. They had a lot of the football in their forward line during this quarter and haven't been able to make the scoreboard tick over. Collingwood have got back and they've been hard at it. Patterson, one of those now with 2 goals.
A minute to go till three-quarter time. Collingwood 8-10, Fremantle 6-11. Rucks go at it. Monkhorst up like Polly Farmer. Fell to Patterson, who got the last goal. The Magpies charge forward again. Can they get a goal here? Burns pulls it back across his body. Jackatine! Jackatine has been paid the mark. Now they've played on. It's a goal to Collingwood. Jackatine seems bewildered down there. I'll be interested. Did he kick that? Because I was watching the umpire. Yeah. Jackatine.
He obviously hadn't paid the mark. It was going to be a free because you can't have advantage from a mark.
No, he drops the mark, and young Jackatine knows that he drops it. And he stayed attuned to the game. He kept going. And I think that's important that you actually play the game. You don't wait for whistles to occur. There it is. He knew he dropped it. The umpire still paid the mark, I suggest. Or, as it would be, as you've said, Drew, it would have to have been a free kick for it to be advantage.
Surely there wasn't a free kick there. Well, it was Dale Kickett.
There have been some bewildering free kicks here today, and most of them have gone Collingwood's way. I can just hear the howls from Western Australia at the moment. Here come the Pies again. Long kick forward by Tarrant to the edge of the goal square. Jackatine in the square, but rushed through by O'Reilly.
Just need to go back and talk about that. I mean, Jackatine clearly didn't take the mark, but the umpire, I thought, paid the mark.
Yep.
And then after a mark, you can't play on, obviously, get the advantage.
Well, it must have been a free kick, and he's taken it his own advantage and kicked the goal.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's what you assume, but clearly watching the replay, where was the free kick?
Well, I wasn't sure that Patterson's was either, so I reckon they've had 3 pretty lucky ones in a tight game.
Where's Couchy? Paul?
And guess what? The margin is 18 points. That's 3 goals, which have been free kicks.
Yeah, they've had the better of the free kicks today, Dennis, certainly.
Just trying to keep
it
a grudging concession from the boundary.
Just trying to keep my jaw going.
Oh, well, they'll let you into Western Australia. You're one of the heroes now, Couchy. Maybe this is another goal. The outside of the foot. How about this from Lucuria? Not sure why he did it. And it's a behind.
Big lead all of a sudden, isn't it?
And just in that last 3 minutes, they've really surged the Collingwood side. Dockers under siege. They need to be able to hold it up here. Now it's only just down to a few seconds. They need to win this ball.
Clement kicking towards the outer side. Tarrant goes up, takes the mark, wants to play on. Little chip pass looking for Burns, dropped it. There's the siren. What a golden opportunity, and Burns knows it. Had he taken that mark, they would have been kicking for a 25-point lead. The pressure is on Damien Drum, and this has slipped away from the Dockers in the last couple of minutes. There will be focus on the umpiring, no question, and probably deservedly so. But having said that, the Dockers had a lot of opportunities at their end in that term. They dominated for about 15 minutes, and they didn't take advantage. They let Collingwood back in, and Collingwood, by stealth and a bit of luck, have suddenly got a handy lead at three-quarter time. Tony Shaw coming down, perhaps eyeing his first victory of the season. 13 losses consecutively. Will the drought break in the rain at the MCG this afternoon? Three-quarter time, it's Collingwood 9-12 and Freo 6-11. So Tony Shaw has a look at that scoreboard, and I think perhaps, just perhaps, a flickering thought crosses his mind that this could be the afternoon.
There's no doubt about that. What he needs to ensure is that the players stay hard at the contest in and around the centre of the ground. Some of the younger players really start to stand up in the latter part of that quarter there. Craig Jackatine in the forward line was good. So was Nick Davis. And then the senior players, Burns and Patterson, were excellent.
Collingwood out by 19 points now after they led by a point at half-time. It's 9-12 to the Dockers 6-11. At the MCG, can't you?
Thanks, Dennis. And Damien Drum spoke about hardness at the ball. He reckons some of his players have just dropped off in that area. Got to get in under, hard work. Spoke to Dave Whedon. All they're going to do is just kick it long, get it in there forward 50 and just get the ball running. Free kicks, Collingwood 23, Fremantle 13. You've complained about that, Dennis. You're right. Collingwood have the better of the free kicks.
Get some hot water on that hand too, Couchy, to prise it off the microphone.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. But there's no injury reports. That's a great thing too.
Terrific.
Well, in that third quarter, Collingwood kicked 4 goals for. Fremantle had it on their forward line plenty of times, and they kicked 1 goal for. Moncourse making a return to the seniors here today, and what a return it's been by the big monkey. Premiership player from 1990 with Chris Sisker and Gavin Brown on the sidelines. He's the only one left here today from the Premiership team. He goes again, but Bandy beats him. Buckley over the top of the ball. He's not doing much to get it out. Yeah. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Well, it'll be a scrap. I reckon Collingwood will promise that in this last quarter. We lead by 3 goals, 1. Freo, you won't see daylight. Whipped out to Buckley. Oh, puts it into space. Rocker's there. Charging straight at it, Patterson. A goal here will be handy. Patterson on the turn has kicked a ripper. Is this the day for the Pies?
Well, it's starting to feel that way, isn't it? They're stretching it out. There's the man who is the catalyst, no doubt at all. Nathan Buckley, see there, he just gets forward of the ball. Very dangerous ploy, and you're backing in your teammates' ability to win the ball, but they were able to get it to him, and he's kicking to the forward line. Patterson works extremely well at ground level. His hands are good and clean there. Wheels around, kicks his third.
So a real challenge now for the Dockers, slipping off the pace and quickly. This is a very big lead in the context of the conditions in this game. Rucks go at it. One down by Moncourse. Terrific. King floats one to half forward. Lucuria. 72 to 47. Lucuria off his step. High ball going back McManus. In fact, Lucuria's got it now as he kicks it down towards the pocket. Coming across. On the angle is Patterson behind the pack. Snaps. And he's got another one. His 4th.
He's there. I mean, that's his best return for the year. It's only, up until today, he'd only been a 2-goal man. And he was that at three-quarter time. And Collingwood really needed something to start it, and he's provided the catalyst as number 6. Some very good use of the ball across the body. 4 goals. It's a career best at this stage.
It was Jacatine who booted it in. Lucuria got it to Patterson.
Gee, job ahead of the Dockers now. Toya back with his hand pass. Kick smothered. Look at the desperation of King. First gamer goes towards the boundary line. Lockyer, a West Australian against a team full of West Australians. And his first game for Collingwood could be on a winning side for Tarkin Lockyer. And there's the Collingwood force him on the bench.
Glenn Freeborn, Nick Davis, Tyson Lane, Drew and Heath Scotland.
Hold on, young mate. Clean possession. Good tackle by Buckley, who's doing the defensive things and the attacking things. Prescott's kick up and down the spot. Tarrant thumps it back towards centre wing. Harding taken over the line by O'Bourne. And we'll have a throw in.
And Drew, we spoke about Collingwood at three-quarter time, just getting the ball on long and quickly, and that's what they've done. That's what you've got to do in wet conditions. Get it on quickly, get a one-on-one situation, and Patterson's done the job for him. 2 goals.
Delaney preparing to come on for the Dockers at the time of the boundary throw-in. Advantage. Lockyer, a long kick inside 50. Rocker. Good mark. Things going for Collingwood now, Wheels.
They are. They're doing very well. And when the Dockers, they trailed by 19 points. They were 17 down at last week at three-quarter time and had to come back, and they did do it in tremendous fashion against Geelong. But just here now, all the momentum is with Collingwood. The 2 goals from Patterson. The crowd here at the MCG have really got behind the Magpies and got them up and going. And now Anthony Rocker, his chance to put his niche in the game.
49 metres out. Perfect!
Well, it's really dried up now for the Dockers, unfortunately. I mean, the Collingwood now have kicked 7 goals in this second half. The Dockers have only kicked just 1, and that was to Daniel Bandy, and may well have been even classed a lucky one. Collingwood have come on out in the second half and been quite dominant. Now they've got quality players in the forward line starting to step up and be able to finish it off the roll.
Anthony Rocker getting his 2nd goal. And the Rockers have certainly played a part in the history between these 2 clubs. Ball back in the middle. Collingwood stormed away. Fremantle dominated play for about 15 minutes in that second term. And in the last 5 minutes of the quarter, or rather the third term, in the last 5 minutes of the quarter belonged to Collingwood, and they've gone on with it here. McManus at the base of the pack and a ball up alongside the centre circle. 84-47. Monkhorst in the foreground, number 1. What a game he's played.
He's played no small part.
No. Rucks go at it. Michael wins. Delaney grabs it. Kicks it towards half forward. Back goes Godden. Over the top, Sinclair. Held to Godden. Eventually he manages to get it free. Down goes Fletcher. Buckley's in there as well. Over the ball is Orchard. Whistle, ball up. Right half forward for the Dockers. Suddenly, the margin is out to a whopping 37 points. Happened quickly. Umpire tosses it up. Monkhorst in front. Still wins it down. King hurriedly around the outer side. In front, Shawbull directs it down to Burns. Burns the looping hand pass intended for Lucuria. Parker appeared to be held. King arrived quickly. In goes Shawbull. It comes to King. Slips it away. Orchard down to Burns. Burns didn't have the ball. No free kick. Eventually Bond got it to Norrish. Norrish drives it around the outer side. And a young man formerly with East Fremantle, Lockyer, knocks it across the boundary line. Elevated from the rookie list. It's out of bounds on the outer side. Paul, what about that Fremantle bench?
Luke Toya, Garth Taylor, Clive Waterhouse and Daniel Bandy, but Collingwood just playing smart wet with the footy. Just get it on, get yardage, get distance.
And the ball knocked on here by Tarrant. Bond in front, ridden into the ground. Buckley's hand pass out in front, but the whistle's gone. I think Bond will get a free kick here. And 37 points all of a sudden is this margin. It was 1 at half-time in favour of Collingwood, 19 at three-quarter time. Push by O'Reilly. No, the mark paid. He's 75 metres out from goal. Holland. Oh, should have gobbled it. The crumbs down to Godden, but the whistle's gone. A push, and Holland has the free kick.
Yeah, it's Tarkin Lockyer that comes in a little bit too aggressively for the umpire's liking. You see there the mark not taken, and then it's the straight out interference from Lockyer.
Oh, Lockyer probably thought he was going to have to make him earn the mark. Then he made him earn the fumble. Holland kicked the goal in the second quarter. 19-year-old playing just his 16th AFL game. Don't the Dockers need this? If there to be any hope. 40 metres out, and he's hooked it and hasn't made the distance. Modra! Good pass.
Well, I think you're allowed to claim it sometimes. Tony Modra, this is a big one for him. It's a great shot there from the Channel 7 cameras. We're right behind him, and as you would expect him just to step out onto the right foot and curl it back around.
This for his fifth. Well done, Mods. Class act. .31 the difference. Is there a chance for the Dockers?
Well, if they can get it down to this man more often, I think they are, because he's in very good form. He's come off a couple of bags of 6 leading into this game, and already now he has 5, 4 in the first half, so it's dried up a little bit for him. And that's a result of the opportunities, and sort of a bit of a crowdedness in the forward line hasn't aided his cause.
5 goals to Tony Modra. 28 on the season. Damien Drum looking anxious, as you'd expect. At times today he would have felt he had this game under control. Michael grabs it alongside the centre circle, boots it inside the 50 again. Back come the Dockers. Presta Giacomo, timely fist on it. Williams into the path of Godden. Sockers off the ground. It goes out towards the outer side. Monkhorst creeps up on the ball, gives it across to Licuria. Licuria along the boundary line, around the outer side, bounces obligingly for Shawball. Gets the hand pass away to Buckley. He was dragged down by Prescott, and between the two of them, they fall on the footy. And we'll have a ball up, 84 to 53. Still plenty of time, just under 14 minutes to go. And Drum thinking about speed on the forward line, about to reintroduce Taylor. Monkhorst, meantime. Patterson, who's played so well. Parker slips it away to Fletcher, to Bond. The old heads combine. Bond, a high ball down towards half forward. Well done there by Kinnear, got a fist on it. Godden close to the boundary line. Gains about 15 metres, and it goes out. So a throw in on the outer side. Reinforcements, should they be required. That was Tarrant getting stretched.
Maybe this crowd has built up since the first half. The word's probably got around on radio that the Pies might break the drought, and they've got here to the MCG. Maybe it's just that it stopped raining and they've come out from under the stands, but it does look a bigger crowd than it did before. Delaney goes off. Throw in centre wing. Bandy and Monkhorst. Bandy's been spelled a couple of times. Monkey's gone all day. So if he lasts right to the final siren, they'll nearly chair him off. We'll give him oxygen and carry him off.
Oh, it's just great to have him back. I mean, approaching 200 games with the Collingwood Football Club. That'll be a great milestone when he gets there later on.
Tarrant lost sight of it, then got a clip over the ear, and he'll take a free kick. Remember last week, Geelong led by 17 at three-quarter time, but the Dockers won. Today, Collingwood led by 19 at three-quarter time. Could the Dockers come home in the last quarter? Sillier things have happened, Dennis.
Yeah, not without a hope, but Collingwood have got other ideas. They can scent victory here. Tarrant just back on the ground, gets the hand pass away. Taken by Godden. Godden kicks well inside the 50. Going back, Rocker. Within scoring range. He's already got 2 this afternoon.
And this will be the kick, Drew, that snuffs out that potential push home. I would think if Rocker can turn this one around. He's had plenty of opportunities at different times. A couple of weeks ago, he had the chance here, the MCG. with 2 late shots at goal in the game to win the match and wasn't able to do it. But he's had one here from here already in the second quarter and did it extremely well. You would expect he can repeat it here now.
Normally kicks it a long way from 52 metres out. Leans back, plenty of height, but tails off and a behind. So the margin is 32 points. Mixed emotions there. Tony Shaw feeling now what Damien Drum felt last week. Well, almost. It's not in the bank yet, but it's very close. Parker into the pocket. Clement's got it. Clement has worked hard in defence. He, like Parker, seems to get a taller opponent most weeks. He drives around the outer side. Buckley worked out of it, waiting behind Tarrant. Charged down by Fletcher, picked up by King. Interesting hand pass, called a throw. Docker ball on the outer side. McManus to take the kick. Sean McManus, just over 11 minutes to go. Drives the ball down towards half forward. Waterhouse stuttering steps in from the side, but the mark is held by Prestigiacomo. Or is it Kinnear? Kinnear comes up brandishing the footy, and he's got it across half back.
Well, it's a big one from a couple deep. I think you would prefer to have seen the fist go in there, but backed his own judgment to take a good mark.
Outmarked his teammate there, Prestigiacomo, as Fletcher gives it across to Sinclair, and it's shinned across the line by Kinnear. So a boundary throw in down towards right half forward for the Dockers.
Gee, there's a lot of young players in this Collingwood side who are potentially playing in their first win. True, whether they have to hand out the song sheet for the good old Collingwood Forever song.
Oh, I think most people in footy have got a fair idea how it goes. Holland wrapped up in the tackle, and it's high, says the umpire, and a Dockers free kick. Yes, well over the shoulder by Luke Godden. Holland takes the free. Centering kick to centre half forward. The first gamer, Lockyer, punches down to the front. Buckley's there to rove the pack. Kicks towards the boundary line, and it hurries out of bounds. Well played, Nathan Buckley. He's had 21 kicks, 4 handballs, 5 marks, and kicked 3 goals. And he hasn't played footy for 5 weeks. Well, he's 5 weeks out, hasn't played for 6. And has probably been eating flummery and melted ice cream. Struck me. Phenomenal game. King, kick by King, back over the wing. Oh, nearly a great mark. True. The umpire will ball it up. Dennis, at 3/4 time, you mentioned name a game. There's a bit going on here. Bond, he's never far from this sort of stuff. I'll tell you what's been bad for business, Collingwood not winning games. I don't think a Collingwood fan will have bought one of those tapes since about round 16 last year. They might be fumbling for the credit card today.
Bondi's had a mint too. Knocked down by Monkhorst, picked up by Fletcher. Fletcher comes away, gets the hand pass to Bandy. Bandy inside this centre square under pressure, kicks down towards half forward. Kinnear was the flyer to fist it down, taken by Godden, knocked away by Sinclair. Godden's over the ball, hand passes it out. Collingwood under real pressure, comes across to Licuria. Licuria boots towards the outer side, having got it from Prestigiacomo. Bandy approaches it, Lockyer is there with him, still Bandy. The big man pushed off the ball, coming through is Fletcher. Down he goes, jarred loose, close to the boundary line. Wirra can't keep it in. He's going to get a free kick. Brad Wirra, as the rain starts to pelt down now too. So the gods perhaps against the Dockers here. This will make it even more difficult. High kick. Kinnear got very high too. McManus slides in on the ground. Hand passes to Prescott. Dragged down in the tackle. Storming through is Williams. Williams kicks it around the outer side. Sits up obligingly. Wirra pulls away from Jackatine. Goes in short with the kick. McManus slides and takes the mark. Over the top, Licuria late, but McManus has the ball. Just forward of right centre wing. Dockers trail 53-85. 8:45 to go in the contest. McManus. Well, that's not the spot for it in either regard. It's out of bounds on the full, but it went to the danger man, Buckley, who was content to watch it float out of bounds. So Nathan Buckley, best on ground by a street this afternoon. Well, that's probably a little unkind to Monkhorst. Those two have been well clear of the remainder.
Wheels has just put his votes in. He wants them back.
Ball goes across the boundary line and out of bounds. Hold them up. Oh, okay. Boundary throw in. Well, there's been several good players out there this afternoon. Votes will be hard to give.
Thank you.
That covers all avenues. Hand passes knocked down. Holland, you did well. And now you're caught. Yes, holding the ball. Well, he beat half the park, but he tried to beat them all. And Mark Orchard with the free kick. Good tackle by Orchard. Over centre wing. Comes off to McManus. 8 minutes left. And Fremantle needs 6 goals to nil to get up and win. In these wet conditions, it's going to be a task. Sinclair to Bandy. Back to Sinclair. Inside 50. O'Reilly now on the forward line. Comes down to Paul Williams. Great pick-up. Dazzling football by Williams. And a beautiful kick off the left. Tarrant. Chris Tarrant. Rocker leads at half forward. It's in that direction. Good. Oh, almost plucked it. And now a ball up.
Jim Parker did nothing wrong in that contest other than be a couple of inches too short. Rocco just about plucked it from over the top. And Big Monkhorst was lurking from behind.
Monkhorst knocks it down in the direction of King. Dockers fight each other, Fletcher and Norris. It came out the back. Down went Parker. King gets the hand pass away. Burns in the grasp. So too Buckley, I thought. No free. Buckley. This will be interesting. Well played, Buckley. Superbly done to Davis. Davis snaps. He's kicked it behind. How about that? Poise over the ball, Buckley. Body to body against a good one in Prescott, but made something out of nothing.
And you don't get a stat for that, and it's one of the best things he's done all day.
Dennis, they say that wet weather footy levels everybody, but I can tell you the cream comes to the top just in their skills, and his poise was magnificent today.
Well, Buckley's had 22 kicks, and the next best Collingwood players had 14. What a day.
Who was that, Drew?
Burns and Davis equal. And Patterson also.
He's been handy.
Very good, Patterson. Comes to King. 40 metres out. Good kick. Didn't get there, but it's still up there for grabs. Sock it away. Out near the 50. Tarrant, good pick up with the wet ball. Hand pass to Davis. Poise. King, play on it. Didn't go 10. Now they've lost it. Norris tries to bounce around. Desperation by King. Comes to Harding.
Oh.
He's too slow. And the ball skews out of bounds. And that's not what Fremantle needed. 6 minutes to go. They need 6 goals to nil to win.
Just like footy heaven for these Magpie supporters now. Booing and in front. The situation they really enjoy. There's the margin, 33 points. Just over 6 minutes to go. Tarrant comes away 55 metres out, sets it up inside the 50. Patterson flew. Gale knocked it away. This is Lane, pulls it back. Well done by Bond, knocked it down to his own advantage, recovers well. And outside the 50, Tarrant will send it back in. I think it's safe to assume now Collingwood are home. Tarrant unloads for a long one. A lot of wrestling down there. You could see Rocker was being held. Holland gets back and concedes a behind. Well, he almost lost his jumper then, Anthony Rocker. No free.
Tarrant's been very good in this last quarter across half forward. He's had some 7 disposals and a couple of marks. He's really offering a target for his teammates there. There's just been so many pluses here for Collingwood this afternoon. So many of their young players have really displayed poise and class in a very tight and tough situation. Tough because the Dockers really were here to win the game, and also because of the conditions.
Kick in has gone a mile. Buckley in the chop. Monkey! Good mark! Oh, welcome back to senior football. Not a great kick, didn't quite match the mark, but it bounced through the pack and got to within 20 metres of goal. Hand pass wide to Gale, from Gale, and taken over the line by Wirra. 34 points the margin. Collingwood's kicking looks bad at 12-15. Look at Monkey. Top mark, and that's a big leap because Bandy is not short. From the boundary throw in. Lane. Then he dragged the ball in. He might be holding it. Play on, says the umpire. Parker threads the hand pass through to Bandy. He's got runners going past. The skipper, Bond. Bond out towards centre wing. Prescott.
Oh, he should keep going.
Put the brakes on centre wing. And now the kick by Prescott. Up high, Waterhouse. The hand pass to Modra. 45 metres out and going backwards. The hand pass in to kick it out in front of goal. O'Reilly, defender turned forward. Comes out to the front to Taylor. He puts it to the goal square. Modra. Tough ball to get. Well done.
Oh.
And where's the free kick umpire?
Oh. Well, he didn't appear to have it, did he? Godden comes away and finds Tarrant. Clearly making the point, Tarrant's been good.
And Modra's been stiff.
Yes.
Definitely there.
Can't believe that. He's got 5 this afternoon. Watch it again. Comes out the back.
Oh, high, didn't have it, everything wrong.
Williams had no idea, I think, where the ball was as it works its way down to half forward now for Collingwood. In the road, though, McManus short. This is Prescott. 34 points Collingwood's way. Under 4 minutes to go. So at least for a week, the pressure will be off Tony Shaw to a certain extent. Hand pass comes to Norrish. Norrish kicks inside the 50. And Monkhorst is back there to take the mark on his chest.
A vote catcher.
Well, he's been a warrior this afternoon. He's been a warrior most of his career. I just can't understand how this man can't get a regular game. It's inexplicable to me on what I've seen. But, of course, the Collingwood selectors see it week in, week out as he drives towards the wing. Lucuria was up, couldn't complete the mark. Tyson Lane goes off the ground. McManus, probably Fremantle's best, just shading Modra. He goes in that direction too. Monkhorst is up again to claim another mark.
I tell you, the fans will come over the fence and they'll cheer this fella off the ground.
Davis at half back. Can go again up towards the wing. Now he pulls it back a little. Another indecisive kick eventually, but Prestigiacomo makes it look okay. He can run down to the 50. He can take a shot at goal. Prestigiacomo. Poor kick. Burns stayed on his feet. That was the difference. And that is it. Collingwood will win. No doubt.
Well, there's a heap of good stuff in this particular piece of play as well. As you call, Dennis Burns keeps his feet in the contest. Prestigiacomo making the run. But just watch here if we can pick up Anthony Rocker. The ball comes on down here. Prestigiacomo takes off. And Anthony Rocker just keeps coming to apply the shepherd. Here it comes, a whack. Good, hard, physical football, all within the bounds of the game. Solid work, Magpies.
So Burns, who kicked the goal, is first for the day. And the Collingwood fans who have stuck through 13 defeats straight last year and into this year are going to be rewarded here today. McManus's kick inside the 50. O'Reilly front position. It comes to Waterhouse. Too far out to score. He pops it up for Holland, who marks in the forward pocket. Modra in the goal square. Holland, well done. And Modra has a chance to kick 6 for the 3rd week in a row.
And the 4th time this season.
And that is a great indicator of the consistency and what he's actually brought to this particular side in his trek over from Adelaide. He's given them a focal point, and when he's able to return tallies of 6 goals in a game as he has, he's really giving them the return for their efforts in the middle of the ground.
Well, you can't boo a champion, and Modra gets his half dozen. Well done, Tony Modra. 6 to match the number on his back. And well done to Holland, who saw him there and delivered a good pass. Yeah,
Holland's been quite busy. He started on the interchange bench. It's his first game in today, one of the changes to the side, and he's been quite busy. And I like that whenever he gets the ball, his eyes are up and he's always watching and assessing what the potential situations are. This time he finds Modra with a good little kick.
Dying minutes of the game. 34 points the margin. Patterson appeared to be held. Fletcher in trouble. That's holding the ball. He's a bit stiff there. And nowhere to go. And Tarrant got a piece of him.
Had a terrific finish to the game, Tarrant.
Yeah. Could be the making of some of the youngsters. Their first victory, and they're right to the forefront, getting plenty of touches. A nice finish too. Rocker on the lead within scoring range. Anything, I within about 60 metres. With this man is within scoring range.
Behind the play, players coming from everywhere to congratulate Tarrant for his tackle.
Anthony Rocker going at his third. 93-59. So Collingwood. Celebrations tonight. Rocker trying to bend it back. I think it's good. It is. The margin is 40 points. And that says it all.
It's just sheer relief on the face there of Tony Shaw.
One of the nice guys at footy, I reckon, Tony Shaw. A real character.
No doubt whatsoever about that. And no, you never get happy in the coach's box even after a win. It's not happiness. It is more relief, regardless of what situation you're in terms of the ladder with your club. He's looking at it from the wrong end at the moment. They're down the bottom end, but a win gets them away.
And the chant for Collingwood goes up around the MCG. We haven't heard it since round 16 last year. Little touch in the middle by Taylor. McManus. Back to Norrish. Off to Holland. 30 seconds remaining. And the chopped off in defence. A terrific play in defence. You
mentioned Tarrant at centre-half forward. Ben Kinnear at centre-half back has really made some step-ups here late too. 40 points the margin. It's been a long, long time between drinks for the Pies. Ball out of bounds at centre wing. And the clock stops. 10 seconds remaining. Do you think they won't sing this song a few times tonight? Monkhorst has rucked all day. A phenomenal performance here. Up against Michael. Buckley, of course, has been sensational with 3 goals. Patterson's kicked 4. And there it is! At last, says Tony Shaw. And Collingwood win their first game after 13 straight defeats. And here's the man. First game for 6 weeks, Nathan Buckley with Paul Couch.
Bucks, what's it like to win?
Oh, it's great, mate. It's good to be out here, let alone have a win was great. I think the boys, it's been coming a long time. The young fellas been doing really well, and I think Burnsy's been leading the side really well. It's just good to get back and be a part of it.
How do you keep yourself up, Dave? 7 defeats in a row this year. You're probably looking forward to the year of pre-season, but it's been a bit disappointing. Yeah, we're just concentrating on doing the things that we know, getting in hard. We've been doing it for bits and pieces, but not for the whole game. I suppose you did a bit better today. What about Monkey's form today? Fantastic. Yeah, he did really well. I think these conditions suited him a bit, the old fella, but mate, can I go and sing the song? Yeah, no worries. Good idea. Good luck. Yeah, desperation here. They want to sing the song. They haven't heard it for years.
Well, the season's hardly been a cakewalk, but they're enjoying the moment now. Collingwood 14-15 have eclipsed Fremantle 8-11. Fremantle just 3 goals in the second half. We'll be back shortly to the MCG.